What's happening, troops? Welcome back to another video on the SharpDiv YouTube channel. In this video today I'm going to be discussing, giving a kind of preview into the upcoming Old Firm match this weekend, and I'm actually joined with a guest. You may know him as a Specky Tube. I know him as Specky Ryan 118.
Thank you for having me on.
How are we doing?
Always an honour.
Yeah, I'm just kind of quoting the
I like it.
subscribers there, I'm sorry.
It's fine, it's alright. I get called a Specky Tube on the regular, so do you I'll take it. I mean,
go away, give me something back.
Give you something back?
Nice, give me something.
I don't know, what can I give you back?
Ugly?
Nah, do you
think I'm ugly, no?
You're a handsome enough boy, come on.
Oh, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Look at that blushing there. Jeez.
I don't actually hate you, I just like
dislike
you.
It's fine. I just it's the same with me and you. There's just a radiant hatred burning off, but I'm hiding it for the channel, so it's alright.
We need to like, kind of bear each other because we play in the same team.
Exactly, playing the same team. And we're from the same city, you know. That's very rare. You know, everybody at CJ's for wherever he is for, so we need to keep going.
That's kind of all we have in common, isn't it?
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a shame. I mean, I'm surprised you're not wearing your colours.
No, I thought I would keep it neutral, but obviously you're a bigot, so.
That's of course.
You had to get the colours in, didn't you?
I know. That's when you asked me to hit you with something, there was some bigoted things in my head, but I was like, nah, we'll keep it off YouTube, we'll keep it off on there. So.
Big problem in the west of Scotland, obviously, that bigoted stuff, isn't it? Doesn't happen anywhere else.
No, just specifically.
Yeah, specifically the west of Scotland, which I believe it's Ayrshire though, the west of Scotland. So, right, let's cut to the chase. Why the people are here? We were going to have frees. The full cast from the SPFL show was going to be here, but some people had better things to do.
Well, he's just scared. Let's be honest.
Do you think so?
Oh, why? I'm here.
Well, I'm here to defend his corner then, isn't it? By the way, Ryan's links are going to be in the description. He also makes YouTube videos, so that's maybe 3 things we have in common then. 3. We'll leave it at that. We'll not go any further. But without further ado, we are going to be discussing a wee bit about the upcoming match. Are you confident?
I'm relatively confident. I'm not overconfident. I think the last time, I mean, you've probably seen the video.
I've seen it.
You've seen me.
In fact, you know what? We'll just insert a clip now.
But we should be easily able to dispose of Rangers tomorrow. Rangers are shite.
I think I went in overly confident, and I was wrong to do so.
Yeah.
So this time, I feel like there's a lot to avenge, and I'm confident we can avenge that. But it's a matter of in what style do we do it. It could be emphatic, but I'm going to be more down to earth this time and say I'm not overconfident, but it's at Celtic Park, so I'm feeling good. Yeah,
it seems like with the way that the allocations and stuff have changed, the team that are playing at home seem to have a much bigger advantage. I think if we look at the 2 Old Firm games, the first one Celtic were pretty dominant. Without actually troubling us too much in terms of breaking us down. I thought in the second one Rangers were a lot more dominant in my opinion. But I can concede and I can be fair and say that Celtic had a lot of injuries. I still think on the day Rangers would have got the win.
Absolutely.
Because we were just on another level in it. But what worries me and what annoys me is the fact that after Rangers got that win, it seems to be like we have just went down in a downward spiral. The inconsistency has been rife within Rangers, and we went into the Kilmarnock game with 27 points available to win, with 2 Old Firm games left. I think there was 8 points in it at the time. It's now 10 points in Celtic's favour. If you win this Old Firm, it's pretty much it. A lot of people believe it is already done already, but we went into that Kilmarnock game and it was almost like we'd given up already.
It's the fact of how big the difference is now. I mean, in December after that game, even Celtic fans, I went out after the game and even Celtic fans were saying it might not be done. Like there's still, you know, a 5-month period to play.
Exactly.
The title's still there to be played for on both sides, but now we go into this game. I don't know about your opinion, but even if Rangers were to miraculously, in my opinion, like Celtic Park, I mean, nobody's won at Celtic Park this season domestically.
Yeah.
So if Rangers were to come to Celtic Park and beat Celtic, for me it's still too much of a gap to overturn because Rangers have proved that the consistency isn't there. So I feel like 7 points or whatever it'll be is still enough for Celtic to go win the title. So it's changed so much in the space of since last year.
That's the annoying thing for me being a Rangers fan, because I look at the 2 sides and I actually don't see that much of a gulf. 10 points, I don't see there being 10 points in it. I think we should be neck and neck. It seemed for a while like, does anybody want to actually win this league? Because we just kept dropping points and dropping points, and that was always Kilmarnock were top of the table as well, and that was always the thing that I was thinking as well. Like, if we could kind of keep up with yous, but we just didn't.
Aye.
And we actually spoke about it in the SPFL show. I don't think you were there because Celtic got beat, obviously.
Of course, that's where I take the day
but
off.
a lot of people thought that maybe that was the change in kind of, what's the word? The change in the whatever, the momentum. When Rangers get the win.
Switch,
but what do you think it was then? Did you think it was just inconsistency on our part and just good form for you kind of finding that consistency?
Celtic have done well in what Rangers are doing, that's burying the wee teams, getting the points.
Aye, you're right there actually, to be honest.
Just like Celtic get the job done. I mean, it might not be, the thing is, it might not be a glamorous performance, it might be tough to sit through. I mean, the easy reference to go back to is a couple of weeks ago playing Dundee, we hung on to the 93rd minute to beat them. 96th minute.
Yep.
Right. At the end of the day, it's 3 points, and Celtic have got the 3 points against the wee teams in whatever style they do it. And Rangers just seem to, especially away from home this season, have just struggled to sometimes get over the line. And I think that's been the big difference, is just those points against these teams like Dundee and that. Because Rangers have been impressive at points this season. They've scored 5-6 goals at home against whoever they like, but then they've went on the road and then they've just slipped up. But Celtic have took advantage of that.
Celtic have slipped up as well, but so that's what the annoying thing has been. For me as a Rangers fan looking in, every time that we could have gained on yous, we kind of just let yous away with it.
Yeah, look at that. The impressive, the good thing is for Celtic this season to pick up on is the fact that how things changed. That opening to the season was terrible. Everything was just going wrong. We were beat off Hearts. We were knocked out the Champions League. Performances were sloppy. There was a lot of questions being asked about positions in the park. But they picked it up, and even through the struggles after Rodgers left as well, and what's going to happen there, we still managed to maintain something. So for that start of the season to the point where it now, there is positives there, but there's been points of the season where Rangers could have easily, picked up and been right behind us, but
again,
just slipped.
That is why it is so annoying, because we've just been so inconsistent. Al McGregor came out in a post-match interview a few months ago and says that he sees the boys in training, thinks that they're of a level to compete for the league, but they need to fix up.
And see, the thing is, he's probably not wrong. Those players, they've got the players there.
Yep.
This is the best the Rangers team has been in a long time.
Yep.
But it's just at the end of the day how they play in the park, and sometimes maybe it's just a mental thing. Maybe they think the game's won and they just take teams for granted. Maybe that's the situation.
Let us know as well in the comment section below why this gap has kind of came about. Let us know if you disagree with me as well, that there isn't that much of a gulf in skill between the two teams. Just let us know in the comments. Get involved. So actually moving on to the match, right? I look at it, since Rodgers has left, I don't think Lennon's changed much. I don't think he should be changing much when you're just coming in with like 8-10 games to go.
Yep.
But I think one thing he kind of has changed is don't play out for the back in as much dangerous positions. But I look at yous and I don't think he's been easily beating teams.
No.
Hibs, I think, was probably your best performance.
Yep, probably so.
He's haven't really been scoring goals. He's had a 0-0. He's almost had a 0-0 versus Dundee. So, and Rangers haven't been the best either. So it is really, really hard for me to predict this match. And I'm going to predict it, right?
Right, on you go.
And people will probably think I'm a right bore for this, but realistically, I actually think it's going to be 0-0.
I know.
I think it's going to be a 0-0. I think it's going to be a stalemate. Maybe one team will show up, and as you were saying, I kind of do agree with you. Rangers have turned up in the big games. They have, and then when they've beat the big teams that have played well in Europe, or have played well against Celtic in the last game, they've then went and dropped points, silly points, to teams that are still big games, like Aberdeen for example. But I think some of the players just think that it's just the Celtic games and the games in Europe, because obviously you don't see them, but a lot of times in Europe, that was the best they'd ever played. And then they'd get back to domestic and they would just drop their levels. When you play at a club like Rangers, even a club like Celtic, you need to be keeping that up every single match to the best of your ability, and I feel as though that is where we've lacked this year, basically.
Pretty much. The interesting thing about this game on Sunday for me is you spoke about the performances under Lennon. They haven't been great, they haven't been fat, but this is the first game where Neil Lennon has a fully fit squad available, which is good because we've been playing games, and as much as I think there's talent in the likes of Ewan Henderson, good player, but we've been playing games with Ewan Henderson, Baton and Brown in the midfield, and Tierney hasn't been in the team. We've been playing about with Hayes and he's a Gary at left back and such, and we've not really had that striker option available either. This time we've got Ncham coming back, we've got Rogic coming back, we've got McGregor being fit, Tierney should hopefully be fit, we've got Benkovic coming back into the team, Edouard is back scoring goals. This could be interesting. Well, I mean, he got the winner against Hearts, he got the winner against Dundee. He's back scoring goals. I mean, with that team available, and hopefully with the crowd support and the fact Neil Lennon thrives. He thrives in these sort of situations.
I think I've seen a different side to Neil Lennon since he came back. He's a lot more contained, apart from running right down to the corner flag. But he's no coming out and making outlandish comments. He's not really getting frustrated. Maybe that's because he knows he's not the permanent manager, so he's trying to make a good impression.
I wouldn't be surprised if that changes if I got the permanent job. I wouldn't be surprised if I get the point, this exact point next year, and Neil Lennon's banned and the boxes.
He'll never change.
As much as I love him, it just his personality, it's deep in him. It's like it's never going to.
I hope he gets a job, to be honest, because I think it's like a big Eric appointment.
Do you think so?
I think it's a step
backwards. I mean, I said that.
I know a lot of Celtic fans have said that it would be good to actually have a Celtic man in there to try and get to the fantasy land, which is 10, which isn't going to happen, by the way. It isn't.
It's going to happen.
It's just not, is it?
It's going to happen.
Cut that. Let's speak a wee bit about Steven Gerrard.
Let's speak about Gerrard. I mean, I've been the first player on Gerrard this season.
There's a lot of people recently, because he's a massive name, even down south, for rating his season and stuff like that. I would probably rate his season about a 7.
7? Really?
7 out of 10.
That high?
Relatively high, right? Considering we'll get no trophies, get knocked out before we even got to the final of any of the cups.
Yep.
I just think that he is building something, and
I guess
in modern day football, right, managers don't get the right time, and there's some people that will call for Gerrard to be sacked, which I just think is ludicrous.
I think that's
if you're in that bandwagon, I just think you should just, if you're watching this video, just click off right now and subscribe and never visit again. Kidding on, everybody is entitled to their opinion, but I just think it is mad that people are on that. I think he should be given time. Progress in Europe, I think, has been good. The way that he's developed players, in my opinion, has been awesome.
Even the likes of a player like Morelos, who did score goals last season. Morelos, a player who last year I don't see how he's any good to Rangers. He's a hothead. He's not much in his arsenal.
If anything, he's been more of a hothead this year.
He's been more of a hothead, but at the same time, he's scored goals. He's looking a better player. His value's gone up. He's been picked for his international team. He's now somebody who I can look at and say he's a genuine threat. This time last year, I felt no threat whatsoever going at no from Morelos.
Do you really? I feel as though he's played well against us every time.
Yeah, but he's still not scored a goal against.
Yeah, that was the thing. He always had a really good game against us, but there was 2 games where he just missed.
Offside though.
Yeah,
offside.
That's something he has improved on. Something he has improved on this year. He's changed his game a lot, in my opinion. He's adapted a lot. In the first season he was at Rangers, I think he got 19 goals overall, and now he's well over 30. He's playing in behind a lot more, so he's getting more opportunities through that. Instead of just holding it up, which I think he done a lot against yous in some of the games, where he kind of bullied your centre backs. But when it came to the crunch, final moment to get that goal, he's not got it. Sunday, is it going to be different? Is he the player that you look at as a Celtic fan and you see the most amount of threat?
Well, this time around, definitely. Without a doubt. He's the one player on the team sheet that you're going to go, right, that's who you watch, because it only takes one mistake, he could be through and go and bang. I mean, I know he's missed sitters in the past, but it's not like that's going to be the same forever. It's not like
he's not been like this year either.
Exactly.
He's contrary to the media would like you to believe in his recent game versus Columbus.
See, the media just doesn't help it at all. Like, just because when we briefly talked about Gerrard, the thing that I was thinking in my head was the way I look at Gerrard's season is because.
How would you rate it then?
Me personally, 4 out of 10.
A 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
Okay.
Purely for the European performance. I just think the way
so what you would give him, like a 2 or a 1 or something?
And domestically, I mean, if you get second place, I'll give you a 3.
Well, will the game be won and lost in your opinion? Me as well. I think it'll be midfield. I look at the 2 defences. I don't think they're the greatest. Borna Barisic is actually injured, so Andy Halliday will slot back in at left back. There's some confusion in the air whether Goldson will be suspended or not. I was under the impression that Goldson was suspended, so it'll be Katic and Worrell. but now there's people coming out and saying he's not suspended, it's a bit of a debacle, but we'll see there. I look at it, I think both your defences aren't the greatest. I think both your attacks can score goals. I think it'll be won and lost in that midfield.
The easy thing to be lost.
And really, I think a key player for Rangers that should be slotted back in there is Ross McCrory. Ross McCrory is a player that played magnificently against you in December, but he's went missing since. For no fault of his own. He's just went missing. I think he's featured in 2 games since that game, and he was one of the most vital players in the match. I think he should come back in this game. I think that he will add a lot more to your midfield.
For me, the thing for Celtic to lose the game, for me it's quite simple, and that is at the back. I know you said both the defence on the gate, but there's so many times this season that we've seen just these silly loose passes and misjudgments in position and such, and that's where Celtic lose goals. At Celtic Park, the odd time we lose a goal at Celtic Park.
Have you conceded the 2 goals this year, isn't it, or something? But
what, like
Celtic and the league domestically?
What, at Celtic Park?
No, just in general. I think it's something really, really low.
Oh, we've not conceded a massive amount of goals.
Since the turn of the year,
I mean, at Celtic Park, the only goal in my mind that I can remember conceding in recent times was Motherwell, and that was what they had to resort to get a goal. Our defence is strong enough to keep it. Of course it will. It's easy it's good. Our defence is good enough to keep players away from scoring goals, but then it just comes to Christopher Ayer, just standing, waiting in a pass to stop and then when they lost, quick enough striker yesterday, run in, wee bit of aggression, takes the ball through and goal. But the midfield, you're right in saying that completely. The midfield is the two. You've got the likes of McCrory if he plays. You've got the likes of Ryan Jack in there. We've got
Kamara as well. Has been a player that's been doing really well.
Brown went missing in December. Did not turn up to Ibrox. Was embarrassed, you could say.
And a lot of people wrote him off after that as well.
After that game at Parkhead, the guy's got a lot to prove now. A lot of Rangers fans that I speak to have this opinion that Brown is completely done. Should he be in the Celtic team? I don't agree with that. I still think he's a player with a great ability. So I would like to see him have a big performance. One of those performances that shows that he is the king of Scottish football.
I would just like to see another bounce ball between him and Arfield.
You'd love to see him get nutmegged again by Ryan Jack.
That's happened many. Even B. Morelos has nutmegged him and stuff. But if you don't if you nutmeg somebody and you don't finish it off or score a goal, man, I'm not really caring. Unless you hammer the team. If it's under a draw or a defeat or something, oh my god, you'll get retweets and all that skills, and it's just get that away, then you win the match.
Exactly. That's
you know what I mean? But just to wrap up then, what do you actually predict for the matchup? What's the score that you would probably go for this
one? On my channel I predicted a 2-0 win, and I will stay with a 2-0 win. I just feel like the team has the ability to keep a clean sheet if we just avoid mistakes. And I don't see an emphatic performance. I don't see one of your 4 or 5-0s. I don't think any team has been good enough for that sort of performance. So I'm going to go for a 2-0. I think I'm not writing Rangers off completely for scoring a goal. As I said, if they get a chance and they take it, they can score. But I'm going to stick with 2, and hopefully we see Big Edouard score, because I'd like to improve his worth, and I'll see McGregor score as well.
Alright. Well, I'm obviously predicting a kind of boring 0-0, but
I've seen it before.
Yep, I think it will be 0-0. But obviously I'm hoping for a wee Alfredo, 93rd minute, runs up to the camera and in perfect English just says, "Fuck Scottish media." Thanks for watching, we'll see you in the next one, and we're out. All my weakness keep on